Alright, yeah, and welcome back to some more Magic Duels with our Mono Red Burn deck. So, we're into the top 8 for the tournament as well. There'll be a video out right now as well, so you can go check that out. Check if you are in the top 8, and if you are, be sure to get your matchups in as soon as possible. For the top 8s now, as soon as everybody's done with their matches, we'll move straight on to the top 4. So be sure to get your matches done as soon as possible, and you can go straight into the round as soon as everybody's ready for that. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the matches. I'll see you there. Alright, we're in. We've got a 3-lander, some removal in the early game, a Chandra to come down, which could be flipped pretty easily. Yeah, I think we can go with this. Hopefully we draw into some nice cheap burn spells as well along the way, but going to have to get a little bit lucky on that side of things. So, what's our opponent playing? Is our deck suitable against them? We shall see. Currently mono black. That bodes well. Lots of creature removal, essentially. I'm going to pass, because I think we're going to go for a turn 3 brawler so I can get a fiery temper off the top. Because I imagine it just gets fatal pushed if I play it right now, so we're discarding a card for no value. Blue-black. Okay. Could have Essence Scatter, but still think that's fine. If it gets countered, it gets countered at this point. And it resolves, which does mean we get to resolve ourselves a fiery temper as well. Potentially, they could have Censor, I suppose. Point 3. Sweet. Alright, pass the turn over. Do they have removal? Not right now. If they don't have removal right now for the brawler, it is a good chance that Chandra is going to stick around too. We'll go to combat and we'll attack first. Play a land. Just in case that somehow matters. Right, attack for 4. Got anything? Nothing, but you do have hard counters open. I think we've got to be the aggressor here. Let's just go for the Chandra. Playing around Censor, but not around hard counters. It resolves again. I'm not sure what our opponent's got in hand at this point. They might just be going, hoping that we're going to go for a nice board state and they'll languish, maybe. And that is indeed the case. Alright, well, we've got 6 points of damage in our hand anyway, so we're pretty close to killing them. We're about halfway through their current life total. As long as we don't keep drawing lands. Oh, I'm going to have to cut a land in this deck eventually. Just because it floods out so often. But we play a lot of 3-drops, which means we need to get to this point, but it's really annoying. Oh. He's got green mana. Interesting. Counter. I feel like this Harness Lightning is going to be useless. Insidious Will to point it back at me. Clever. Clever girl. Or just counter it. Or are you copying it? I don't know. Yeah, he's redirecting. Okay. Sure. We draw. Exquisite Firecraft. Good against counters. We'll take the time now to Fiery Temper our opponent since he's only got 1 mana open. Firecraft is uncounterable. So our opponent's at a virtual 6. We have Harness Lightning open to kill a creature if it comes down and has toughness 3 or less. Somehow I'm expecting Planeswalkers though. Or for our opponent just to pass. Also works, I suppose. There's a shock. Right, we will pass. I'll hold on to the Firecraft until it'll kill our opponent. Because I'd like to get our opponent down to a low life total where they feel comfortable being at 4 life, essentially, and then we'll just destroy them. If we Firecraft now, then there's no way that they let any burn spell resolve when they're down at that life total. Are you passing? They are. Alright, we'll just point a shock at him. Down to 8. Come on, more burn. There's a Lathnu Hellion. Sure. Yeah, I didn't think that would resolve. They might have Scatter to the Winds with Awaken. It's Awaken 3, I think, so we can instantly kill it with Harness Lightning. I'm happy to do that. It's Commit. Okay. Put it second from top. Sure. I'm happy to draw it again. Well, it's not ideal, but I'm not against drawing it again. Especially if the top spell is another burn spell. That'd be lovely. It's like 4-color control then. It's the impression I've got. Hopefully they use memory. Love for them to use memory, that'd be great. Refill my hand for me. This certainly is an odd and spicy brew. Are they just passing? They are just passing. Okay. So we draw another shock. Okay. Lathnu Hellion on top. Shock to take him down to 6. So we can hold the shock. If we go Hellion next turn, gets countered. If it doesn't, then we take them down low enough to kill them. Otherwise, we shock in response to the counter, take them down to 6. We just need another shock or anything of that level of burn to win. It shouldn't be too hard to pull off. Rise from the Tides. Okay. Well, I've got nothing better to do than use this Harness Lightning to kill one of them. It's holding up counters, so the Hellion is probably going to get countered here. He knows it's coming. Got removal instead then. Must be the case. If this goes through, our opponent just loses. Looks like it's resolving. Okay then. Well, we have to wait to untap first, but we have uncounterable damage. Lathnu Hellion on board, maybe to encourage them to kill it and tap out. We can shock them down to 2 to get another counter out of the hand. Not that that really matters at this stage, but you know. Cut 4 damage to the Hellion. Alright. You're gonna go for a big ribbons. Or have you got something else? Because we got you dead on board, you need to gain life. Ribbons doesn't gain you life though. Probably not really going to attack. Yeah, half an attack. Sounds about right. Because if we drew another Hellion, they'd need an answer for it. This is fine. They're dead anyway. The writing is on the wall. Shock you. Because we can. Just in case there's some life gain that I'm missing, that really helps. And Firecraft for the win. GG. Alright, we're off to a good start. Beat through some strange spicy control deck. I don't think they saw us coming. Probably shouldn't have played the Chandra into that Languish. Probably should have just kept the Brawler around, but we needed to be the aggressor, otherwise we weren't really going to get anywhere. So anyway, let's go on to the next game. Alrighty then. Oh, if we drew land into land, this hand would be insane, but gonna have to throw it back. Oh dear, we can't take that. We can take this though. Mountain into Bomat Courier. Bomat Courier is gonna refill this really horrible hand. We could have taken the last one, being loads of lands and Chandras, but it was insanely slow, and if our opponent's playing control, then they just counter them as they come down, because they can just build up their hand to the point where they can just wait for us to play our big threats. This one, at the very least, gets some early game aggression going, so with a chance of refilling. Evolving Wilds. Cracks it. What you getting? Blue. Don't know why. I thought black might turn up there, but blue's alright. Blue is perfectly acceptable. Hello, Moment Courier. Whatever will we do with you? Right. Let's go with Bowmat Courier. Get another card off the top. That's 2 cards. Want to get to the point where Bowmat Courier has more cards under it than we have in hand. Let's put down the Thermo Alchemist so that the shock does a little bit extra. And in fact, we can just get empty-handed next turn. Pretty much. So we play a land. We play a shock. We've got 2 mana left open. We could Bowmat Courier. If we get another land drop, then we get empty-handed, but there's another land. Alright. So, swing with the Bowmat Courier, first and foremost. There's 3 cards underneath the Courier. Wanna tap the Thermo Alchemist. And shock our opponent. Untap the Thermo Alchemist. And we should have played the Bowmat Courier pre-combat, but well. Down to 1 card in hand. We'll hold off sacking the Bowmat Courier until a point where he goes to remove it, leaving 1 mana open up at all times. 3 is where we usually feel comfortable, so Diagraph Colossus. Now is the time to swing in with the Courier and sack then. Unless we get some removal. That'd be nice. Hazaret, eh? Alright. Hazaret does mean that we have to drop our guard on the Courier though, and I think these cards in the Courier are a little bit better. This is a problem. So, we make our land drop. We can play Hazaret and attack in straight away with it. But we can't get the 3 cards underneath Bowmat Courier. We can't attack in to make it 4 cards because he blocks with the Colossus most likely. It's a tough one. And a Languish wipes away our entire board then as well. But if we want to wait to the point where we can Hazaret and Bowmat Courier, we've got to wait for another land drop. Just not sure how to proceed in this case. I guess. Hazaret's just so good though. Hazaret just means if we draw anything that's crap, it turns into a burn spell. I think we'll pass. We'll see if we draw a land. If we don't draw a land next turn, then we'll probably just take the risk. I want to see if our opponent is going to wipe the board. If they wipe the board, we sack the Courier, we get 3 cards over Hazaret. So those 3 cards are probably worth a fair amount of damage. So this is Esper Zombies. There's also the chance that they have the 1 mana white spell that makes you exile a blocked creature by a zombie. So Hazaret's not exactly the safest bet there either. Wayward Servant. It's a zombie token. That gains them life, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So we need answers for all of this life gain crap. Assume no attacks. We can just block with the Alchemist. Yep, alright, so tap the Alchemist. We were hoping for a land drop here. A land drop is amazing. Land drop. Awesome. So, we go Sanitarium, Hazaret, we swing for the attack, officially making Hazaret able to attack anyway with no cards in hand. Once that's the case, we sack Bomat Courier. She's not able to attack, but she's still got the discard available for future draws in case we get like 4 lands or something like that. We can start discarding that. Getting around the life gain. Yeah. Okay. So, swinging with Hazaret, swinging with the Bomat Courier. He's going to block the Courier. We're going to sack it to get 4 cards. Those 4 cards likely jam-packed full of burn. Okay. Discard our hand, get 4 cards. Well, it's not ideal. But a Dynavolt Tower does help a little bit. So we can Mountain, Tower, Lightning. We'll have 2 cards in hand. If it's a 1-drop that we draw into, then Hazaret's back online. This allows us to get rid of the Wayward Servant, which the life gain is really annoying. Geezer and Geralf. So, Mills 4. Can take any zombie back, which is none of them. Alright. Probably want to swing in with all 3 here, would be my guess. We're not likely to get Hazaret able to attack or block next turn, so... No, I'm not taking the risk. Okay. I mean, I can't think what the risk is that they'd be taking, but there you go. More lands, not ideal. Mountain and Dynavolt Tower. So we could do 2 to each opponent by discarding a land with Hazaret. That doesn't take us any closer to where we need to be. The question is, with the Harness Lightning, do we kill the Colossus or the Servant? Servant gains them life. Colossus gains them power on board. I think we can ignore the power on the board, though, with the Colossus. Yeah, so we're going to tap Thermo Alchemist. We're going to get the Servant off the board. Actually, he can cast it with Geezer and Geralf. So no matter what we pick, he just plays it again. That's interesting. I suppose we could just kill Geezer and Geralf then. Yeah. 2 energy from that, 3 from that. He untaps our Thermo Alchemist to block. Let's deal 4 to you. We can also sack the Bomat Courier in order to get empty-handed. Or at least down to the 1 card that we need to block with Hazaret. So we don't need these lands. So yeah, I think maybe an attack and sack. Go down to 1 card. Means Hazaret is back online. Probably get something better than lands. Yeah, let's swing and sack. See if he wants to block first. He might not. If he doesn't, it's better for us. The only 1 mana burn spells he has to worry about kill his zombies outright anyway, so blocking's not really going to change that. So if he's afraid of like a combat trick or something like that, guess that could be a thing. But it is not. Hungry Flames is awesome. Right, we can now block with Hazaret, so there's no attacks coming in. We can attack in with her, of course, to start taking some of these zombies off the board. Hungry Flames gets rid of the Servant to stop life gain, or even the Shambling Vent if he ends up suiting that up to block. And we gain 2 energy from it as well. We need 5 from the tower in order to deal 3 to our opponent. Plus Thermo Alchemist is also generating an extra little bit of damage, so this is kind of like 3 damage to a creature, 3 damage to a player at this point. Another Servant. Yeah, that's annoying. Up to 12, up to 13. Won't be attacking in. Tap the Alchemist, take him back down to 12. What do we get off the top? A land. Land means discard. 2 damage to each opponent. Swing in with Hazaret. Yeah. Blocks with the token. That's fine. We'll pass, because he might want to attack him with a Shambling Vent. Not sure. These are when it enters the battlefield, so in response we could deal with that. Then again, Dark Salvation X1. It's going to take Hazaret down. This is -1/-1, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Let's tap Thermo Alchemist. Let's kill one of the servants so he doesn't gain as much life, because we can get him really close here. Still kills Hazaret though, because it's going to generate a zombie. He goes up to 8. Down to 7. Another zombie goes up to 9. And then 10. That servant needs to die really badly. In fact, that's going to be the reason why he wins if he does. Goes to attacks. Should swing in. Yep. So we block. And we tap. Take 4. Come on, something good. Of course. Of course it's a land. Right, let's loot. Hey, Chandra. How's it going, girl? We shall play Chandra. He dumps a Jace. Okay. Play Chandra. He might be less inclined to attack him with his useful zombies, since Chandra can block and kill. He might not think... He might think that we're going to block with Chandra, so that could put him off. I don't think we're going to, though, because that's 2 points, which does counter his zombie at the moment. But this life gain is really disgusting. Any instant and sorcery is another 3 damage burn spell. Plus another 2 from our creatures. So he's going to be at 8, short of him gaining any kind of zombies. If he plays a zombie, he's going to go back up to 10. He can discard to make a zombie as well. I bet he really wants to draw cards with that Crypt Breaker. In a weird way, I'm kind of hoping he does, but it's possibly not in our best interests. Since the zombie cast is 2 life, Whereas a zombie entering from the Crypt Breaker discard is only 1. Plus, of course, the additional board's presence as well. He's almost timed out his turn. Liliana. Okay, more life gain. That's annoying. If he doesn't go to combat soon, he's gonna have to end his turn, which is in our best interests. And 2, 1. Oh, he went to combat. Ah, he ended his turn. We're going to ping him for 1. Yeah, he timed out. Taking too long to decide. Fiery Temper. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Awesome. Tap Chandra. 1 to you. Tap Thermo Alchemist. We can actually loot with the Sanitarium as well. It's the best play to make anyway. And use the Madness cost instead. We get another Thermo Alchemist. Yeah. It's actually an untap for Chandra. So that's more than enough. I'm not sure if he would have won if he'd have even gotten for an attack there. I think a Dispel's the only thing that's going to save him here. And I doubt he's running them. They're almost entirely not played in this game. Okay. Fiery Temper. 3 to you. Generate 2 energy. Untap both of our guys. Pew. We don't need to do this, but I'm going to play it out. Pew. That resolves. Dynavolt trigger. If you can gain life at instant speed, he wins, but yeah. Alright, that got a bit too close, but we managed to pull it off. Anyway, guys, I think that's where we're going to end off the episode. So if you did enjoy the content, then be sure to leave a like. It helps me out a great deal. Lets me know you're enjoying the series. As always, don't forget to hit that little bell icon as well, right next to the subscription button, and that'll notify you when tomorrow's video goes up. So I do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.